Well, good afternoon. After as we're sitting as we're sitting here at LTV on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, here with the Hello Hello show, and my name is Haim Mizrahi. It is August 15th, year 2024, and my name is Haim Mizrahi. Of course, not to fail to mention the contribution by Fraser Dougherty, Francis Ann, and then of course the likes of you out there that make it your business to enhance and fortify this wonderful concept called public access in the shape of LTV here at the east end of Long Island. Yesterday, I had a wonderful interview with Zoe Pennybaker Brin, and that was really a delight to be able um, to converse with her and to reach heights and depths as it should be, according to the intellectual atmosphere that took place here. That was second to none and very intense, informative, genuine, honest, clean cut, focused, and so much more. So, of course, this particular show that you're watching now, the Hello Hello show, has been on the air since 1980. And of course, thanks to Fraser that actually had this show hand in hand alongside as the early days of the inception of this station took place. The Hello Hello show accompanied the stations throughout all of its 4.5 decades, I would say. So I was very proud when Fraser asked me I think it was 97, 98, to take over the show. Um, uh, I was reluctant at first, because I knew the extent of the responsibility and commitment that maybe I wasn't so sure I have what it takes or have it, or maybe even if I have it, I wasn't sure whether I'm going to find out whether I like it or not, because I was already active as a producer here at LTV. I can share with you that I used to air night tapes, yeah, and it was from 1989 to 1997 that I aired just about anything that I could lay my hands on filming, especially the jam sessions at the Talk House, early 90s, Monday evening jam sessions, percussions, and whatnot. And then, of course, uh, the extent of it that actually led for me to understand the attitude that Fraser Dougherty had in place when he used to take his camera with him and literally celebrate the uh, enhancing the level of involvement and therefore making it in general more approachable and um, um, and available, and of course enhancing the meaning of it as you kind of add to your reservoir of experience. And that level of experience firsthand, it didn't matter really what is the material. Obviously today we worry, as we should really, about quality and about sound, about the clarity of the frame, and about proper composition, proper placement, proper um, dimensions, and maybe add to this equation the longevity of that process. And speaking of that, before I open up into drinking my coffee, before I jump into the conclusions that never end, so therefore I never worry when I realize that I'm in the midst of forming a conclusion, because in the past it was, wait a second, I'm not even nearly done. How can I jump to conclusions? But of course, since then I realized that this is not the case. The case is just really do as you please, as you understand it to be right, as you accept the logic of timing and so much more. So it was a actually, and you know what, maybe we can do the conception vessel. And this is, believe me, as an alternative drummer, as a drummer who in the late 70s and early 80s, I was so committed into becoming that which was clear in my mind what it was that I want to become, with a group of friends that shared the same notions. It was just a pleasure, but also an incredible torture. Because when you with a group, you can also measure yourself to be worthy or unworthy, capable or incapable, even though reality will tell you that you're actually doing fine. There's no reason in the world to look into anything. Just continue doing what you're doing. But the more you learn, the more you realize that actually what you needed to resolve a week ago, what you needed 3 months for, now you can do it in like 10 days. Um, so I come from that genre that was always putting 16 hours when you know that 12 is enough. I know uh, musicians in Jerusalem in 1976, 75, 76. I can tell you stories about um, um, Billy Hart and um, Chick Corea um, and the early stages of Steve Gadd. Actually, I saw the concert that Steve Gadd, the legendary drummer, toured with Paul. Um, um, Now I forgot his name, of course. uh, um, okay. Yeah, I guess I did. The greatest musicians that came through the city of Jerusalem, for example, late 70s. And we were fortunate enough to kind of find ourselves in concerts that didn't even take yet place in the United States or in Europe. Uh, and even gaining access to get the attention of some of the musicians um, that accompany these superstars. Those were the years of revelations and breakthroughs, jazz rock, and this aspect of very responsible freestyle with a deep level of conviction that runs through the width of the entire panoramic stage, i.e., image, i.e., shot, i.e., structure, i.e., composition, i.e., title, i.e., crown, and so much more in that sense. Um, um, so I realized to myself, I saw my friends literally. I share with you literally waking up 7 o'clock in the morning, going to the club to take a half-hour swim. And when I say half-hour swim, I mean they swim laps for half an hour nonstop, fast or slow, it doesn't matter. And then taking a shower and having somewhat of a medium um, um, healthy breakfast. And they find themselves in front of their musical instrument. For the most part, it was the drummers, even though I was close to the number one pianist around in a radius of 300 miles, and a flute player, a violin, all conservative, that have loads and loads of expression and impression under their belt to um, okay, so maybe LTV Greg will LTV. That's Greg Sullivan. Let's see if I can call him, okay? And maybe he can. And maybe he can. Okay, I'm gonna. Hey, Greg, hold on one second. Are you there? Are you there? Okay, hold on. Let's see. But I don't think I'm connected. Let's see if I'm connected. Yeah. Uh, okay. Okay. Because I'm just trying to connect the phone. What does it say? Something? I'm loving this upcoming show, Price Well. It looks like it's really going to be great. I'm just trying to make the phone work here on the. Let me see. Say that again.
So
yes,
in
perfect.
Chriswell,
Okay.
the latest solo exhibition by Haim Mizrahi, the viewer is invited to journey through 50 new paintings that embody the dynamic tension between revelation and expansion. The title Prideswell encapsulates the essence of the body of work, where the act of prying open, I love this, it's so you, right? The act of prying open and probing deeper into the layers of existence leads to an inevitable swell, a burgeoning of understanding and emotional resonance. That is good friggin' writing, but it describes you, man. It's got you perfectly. Yep, prying open. You know you're one of the great thinkers. You pry everything open. So that's good. Thank you. I looked at the thing. I'm going to post it up on. I'll post it up on the Hamptons Live TV stuff and my other social media stuff around, and then I'll be there. I'm looking forward to it.
Listen, I thank you so much for that. It's not like I'm running out of people to invite, or I'm worried people are not going to come and all this. I just
you hardly.
But anyway, I always, I don't know, I feel very sensitive about this one. So I really want people to just come and this show will continue on display at the Southampton Library for the month of September. So
oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
very. So at least there's a continuation to it. So it's going to be a long weekend at Ashra Hall, and then it will travel to Southampton, which is a good.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, that just feels so good. I feel really good for you with that. It just feels like, do you feel, this is a better conversation if we were both on in the studio together at the same time. But do you feel like your art is hitting a kind of a focal point zenith of where it's been going for a long time and like breaking new ground now or something?
Yes. Yes. And I'm pleasantly surprised, even though I don't need to be surprised because I was kind of anticipated that it's going to take place. I wasn't sure when, but then I realized that actually there's a sad aspect to it because you realize you have to move on, and then you don't quite understand why I don't quite understand why I need to move on because I kind of broke through something. Maybe I should indulge longer, but the opposite happens. You want to just kind of, okay, well then, I'm afraid that if I'm not going to act on it now, then it's almost like fiction. Instead of saying uh, like lying to yourself, like you kind of used to lie to yourself now and then, small lies only so you can continue without kind of stalling the process for too long, and then but you knew it. Now you're lying, but you don't call it lying, and then also the technique itself is more like, listen, I'm the artist, I'm painting these paintings, I do it myself, nobody helps me, so leave me alone. If you want to say something, say it away from me, and don't talk to me about it, or don't to me before it or after it, just do it. I'm giving you my blessing. I don't know who I'm giving my blessing to, but
So giving yourself your own blessing and having to leave something, but the sadness of it, that's surprised. I didn't expect that from you, but the sadness of it. But is that from? Are you feeling that you're lying because you didn't complete something, that you're moving on without completing something? I mean, that's usually the only place sadness comes for me. Is if I have to leave something I haven't completed, But if you're completed it and you're moving on to something new, I mean, this new stuff looks really exciting. I'm really looking forward to this opening of yours. But
yeah, and then actually
open,
that sadness is it's actually with a heavy load of poetic license. It's when I use this word in this time, in the timing and place, it's more like I uh, um, I'm I'm over grinding the obvious. You know what I
But
mean?
that's not,
Which
is that
obvious
akin
is
to like
already
beating a dead horse? No.
it because the obvious is already a fine ground. You don't really necessarily even need to go further. It's done. It's almost like you want to brew the coffee. Now is the time to do it. It's good. It's ready. But in the same token, uh, um, I have periods that make it all possible to continue where which I decide to go back to old things and not necessarily in order to introduce it to new things that I'm doing today, but literally bringing it all together and doing paintings and style of paintings that I did 15 to 20 years ago. And I realized that it works. I realized that I still understand because for me, because I never studied painting, I need photographic memory, and I have one, and I utilize it to always find myself back where I left off, and so I'm very efficient in terms of I can find myself where I stopped last time, exactly where I was. So therefore, the process begins almost instantly. So right there, you have an advantage over life, over reality. And if you're conscious of it, then you can take advantage of it. If you can take advantage of it, you're automatically ahead of the game, even if it's a little bit. It's still considered a lot.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
want so when you're
For
ahead of the
sure.
game, you
Yeah.
don't also you abandon thoughts of self inferiority because these sensations come over everyone at some point. You're a nothing, you're a nobody, you're fake, you have nothing to say, you're this, you're that. That's the voices you hear. And if you don't hear them, then you should pray to hear them because it's constructive stage of the process, very important constructive stage. When you hear it and you say, okay, so how do I get out of this one? This voice is crushing me now. I didn't expect it. And even if I
Oh
did, I didn't
God.
expect it now. So what do I do? So now the what do I do doesn't even take place anymore. I'm on automatic. I have answers that I'm not even aware that I'm answering because the system kicks in. Um, so anyway, so the learning process is more important than actual the ability itself to paint a painting. Because with the kind of technique I'm talking about, the painting paints itself already, kind of thing. I'm sure you'll be able to relate to it because you're like even though you're a hands-on guy and your job is creative and yet defined to a certain degree, you always find a way to be flexible there and to enjoy that moment.
No. You're kind of the open channel, like what we described Jimi Hendrix when he was playing guitar. That guy was just an open channel that of this other energy that came down. You're kind of open ended. You don't have a limit to where you're going or where you're thinking, and that's why this is so perfect for you. This exploration of growth and the revelations. But you so suddenly you're kind of like finding the negative things about yourself. What's that about?
No, I wouldn't put it this way, even though no, I wouldn't. Um, I I wouldn't put it this way, but the way I will describe it is it's always there. I always deal with these things with the ups and downs and this and that and all these kind of things that are tricky and puzzling. But because they come on regular basis, um, then I getting used to its level of intensity. So I take it as a regular thing almost. You know what I mean? When I first started, fear of the unknown was number one. And then I realized that the fear of the unknown is something that doesn't just go away, it stays for a long time. And for the longest time, you don't understand what is it that you need to do to advance, to get rid of this feeling or this, and you don't know. So it's very tricky. People are not aware that this is what's taking place, which I was one of them for the longest time. Until I realized I need to know where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Literally, where is it coming from? Not necessarily psychologically or philosophically. Just where is it coming from? Where is that lump on the road that I didn't notice yet? But it's there. So then by accident, you kind of bump into something and then it gives you the answer and then you free yourself from these shackles and then you find yourself. And because you're a good technician, then you adapt also. So everything happens quickly because you don't want to disrupt the process. You don't know when something big will happen. Things are happening all the time, but something big happens only once in the blue moon. So you always
That
want to be ready when it takes place to squeeze it to death. You know what I mean?
that's the lesson that the spiritual lesson in Castaway, where it's like always he just knew he had to keep breathing, but then something you never know what's going to happen when something big happens or small happens that just changes everything. And for him it was that thing coming in as a piece of plastic that he could use as a kite. You're talking about it in another place, but it's that moment where something uh, sometimes long overdue, something it needed to happen for a while, comes in and changes everything. But your examination of your things you don't like, and I admire, I applaud you for being public about them. That's a very true, honest person.
It's
You
not
know,
such a yeah.
yeah,
No, I
God
hear you.
bless it, man. You are as open and honest as they come. And if everybody was like you, I wonder what the world would be like. It'd be a lot better
Yes.
place, though. It'd be like maybe crazier, but a lot
But
better
yeah,
place.
here
That's
you
for
go.
sure.
But crazier in a creative way. So
Yes,
the
in a good way.
oh, just imagine that the every army in the world will have a musical department, what they would do prior to the battlefield getting itself on fire. You take all these wonderful, huge airplanes, like uh, where they would go over these potential future fields of battles and bloodshed, and they will paratroop drum sets and saxophones and guitars and speakers, and then about a bunch of 1,000 musical instructors into the battlefield, and they will welcome you, and you will welcome them. Something will have to give, and even if it fails miserably, whatever is there as a good attempt will be its first casualty. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. But
Some clarion trumpet, some clarion call, and yeah, who's and heralding a disaster or opportunity.
just
Right?
imagine you take the Bolshoi and you land it in the middle of a battlefield that's just about to erupt, and then you see all these kind of crazy talented professionals full of heart and vision and incredibility and inspiration just there wiping out the nature of the desert. You know what I mean? It will be like uh, the interesting part is that all these elite of SS officers and big shots were either scientists, authors, musicians, and so forth. They appreciated the art. They appreciated civility and code of conduct, value, everything. So that's why they had soft spots when someone famous or someone that they knew before the war, even though it was a Jew, and they should burn him in hell, they still sheltered people like this and asked for forgiveness in private from them because they knew the power of art. So we, um, I think that uh, uh, because I'm a technique oriented artist and not subject matter oriented artist, I already told you that before.
Yeah.
It's easy to get away with unnecessary complexities. I mean, you know, that's your number one enemy. Slowdowns.
Clutter,
Yeah, something
social
that's
activity clutter, where it's just it's like, what is this purpose? What is this for? Why is it in here? It's just cluttering shit up. Clear it out. It's unnecessary.
Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the gauges. So, but the point is that the problem is, let's just say everything I told you makes sense and it works and it's powerful and all this, but then you get into a stage where you need to accurately be able to trace the fine lines, you know? Suddenly the fine lines, like fine paintings, uh, become the make it or break it issue here. Something that can, if you irresponsible and reckless, it will send you back to the Stone Age, literally. I mean, as a metaphor, so crucial. So now it's your willingness to highlight vis-a-vis your ability to deliver the fine line. You know what I mean? So now, because you showed so much greatness, for example, you showed so much greatness, and people went to your exhibitions or concerts or whatever. But at some point, this level of familiarity bothers them. Like, is he going to do something about it or what? Yeah. He created wonderful.
Expectation.
Yeah, you created wonderful things, but enough is friggin' enough. We need an elevation here and now. Can you do it? Oh, no. It's wrong question. Are you willing to do it? Because you know we know you can do it.
Yeah.
But not. But if yes, then but not next year. Why isn't it now?
That's the great question.
And then think about all the greatest by way of musicians and actors and all this and this and that. So 30, 40, 3, 4 decades they're out there celebrating, acting, painting, being admired and worshipped by the many, and famous all over the world, influential all over the world. And they spoke so much, they played so much, they composed so much. It never ended. They're talented consistently through the process, through the decades. Okay, so now they get to a point that I say, you say, wonderful. But now what? Are you going to repeat that? Are you going to go back again and tediously go through this like painful crap of reintroducing and showing food that you chewed and overchewed and chewed after you already chewed and chewed again? And then you're grinding water. How can one grind water? Think about it. But none of them, I don't know, maybe there are some that I don't know, but none of the greatest, like Vinny Colaiuta, like Al Foster, like Steve Gadd, like Peter Erskine, big names, awesome. None of them after 30, 40, or Billy Cobham, and Billy Hart, and Elvin Jones. Are you kidding me? None of them.
Elvin Jones.
Yeah, Elvin Jones, the one and only. So now none of them, after 30, 40 years, woke up in the morning and said, I think I've had enough. Okay? Go to the drum set, drop on your knees, and start researching and investigating this instrument as if it's the first time you sing it. Now, it might sound very cliche what I share with you now, but believe me, if you can do that, and you happen to be one of the greatest drummers in the world, it will take one day, 24 hours, before you come up with the idea how now you're going to play the drums through the drums, not in front of the drums, not related to the drums, not during the drums, not after the drums. It's through the drums. So now you come up with a new name that's called drumness. Like
Drumness.
drumnunity, drumnuness. You understand? You look at it and you say, "What is it now?" But the one who's asking, "What is it?" happens to be one of the greatest, most powerful figure in the world in the territory of percussion. Okay, that's like any
Listen,
of this group that I mentioned. And then they say, okay. Pick up the phone, call someone in the studio, say, "I'm coming. I need 8 hours in the studio. Get ready." What are you doing? I'm dealing with drums. Set things up. You go there and you start recording. If you're Peter Erskine and any of such of the names that I just mentioned, and you decide to just experiment and try and see what's going on, even if nothing's clear to you, with your ability after 24 hours, you're going to come up with a recording that will be so mind blowing. There's no doubt about it. And within 72 hours, you already have 500,000 of them in production. Every drummer in the world, first and foremost, that would know of the existence of a CD like this, would buy it on the spot. If you know, if he sees, oh, this name, this drummer, and what he's telling me here is that he just took a new approach to the instrument, and I'm not going to want to hear it. And the beauty of it, that now the musician liberates himself. How so? Is by the fact that he can record himself. He doesn't depend on anyone. He's talking himself and the drums, him, the drums, and himself. No witnesses. Just doing. And because he or she happened to be one of the most greatest figures in this territory, in this genre, yeah? So you're guaranteed something magical unconditionally to happen. And an elevation of understanding. The drum set that new generations will grow up on this new understanding and willingness of the drummer, and it can be a piano also. Chick Corea never woke up after 40 years of crushing the world of music and new age and jazz rock and all these new inventions. He didn't wake up after for 40 years and saying, "I need to take a second look at this piano because I just about had it." It didn't happen. But just
you're making
imagine,
your point.
yeah, but just imagine Chick Corea himself would have done that. Who wouldn't have listened? And then he would go and look from the bottom, from beneath, from the back, as if he doesn't know what it is. He's trying to figure out what is it, even though he knows it's a piano and all this. But now he comes and he strips himself from any knowledge related to this instrument. And then immediately goes to a recording session. You know what's going to happen? You have any idea? And then every week he will have 2-3 recordings every week.
Well, breaking new ground. You know, some of those other drummers, I wasn't sure I didn't know their names. Elvin Jones is one that popped up. He was Coltrane's guy. And then wouldn't it also be a product of jazz itself that suddenly freed musicians to just go off into their own thing, as opposed to before then every musician had to play into some other thing that was part of a group? Now with jazz, you could be an individual and you could develop your own stuff, but you still had like the gang around you that you were interacting with. You know, that's what my music history knowledge of Elvin Jones, and he was with Coltrane, and that whole era of jazz was when the freedom of playing your own thing right there, but you're in the middle of all these other people, and then suddenly you're finding that all of you playing your own things in your own way are all converging in some sort of other magical synchronicity that just made sense and captivated everybody.
Okay.
That's so how far away is that? And is that what you're kind of saying anyway about Elvin?
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily Elvin. It was just, I'm talking about all these names had incredible technical ability on the instrument, incredible disciplines, incredible technical knowledge on how to count, how to hold a beat, how to be a part of a group, how to do a solo, everything. Okay, all of them. I'll give you a present now. Okay, I'll treat you for something. Write these two names. One is Marvin Smithy Smith.
Marvin Smithy Smith?
Yes.
Okay.
And the next one is C.J. Thompson.
Okay, got him.
When you Google their names, Google Marvin Smith's drummer, CJ Thompson drummer, you'll see a 30-year difference between two drummers. And Marvin Smith he's from the old genre, but he was the most advanced, really, per se, more modern on the because of his personality. And C.J. Thompson was one of the first. It was, I think, 8 years ago they started with the church music that was flourishing across the United States of America's churches. The local band of the church became super duper technically excellent, and they gave birth to a lot of drummers that are new age drummers. None of these churches would accept any drummer that has no technical ability, that is soaked with modernism and sophistication of count. So you will see these two when you have the time, then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, look, I had the time. I just pulled them up. This is cool.
Yeah.
They got a lot. They got a lot of YouTube videos on
Yes.
CJ Johnson.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This guy has like 26 million followers.
Yeah, Smitty Smith.
And Marvin Smith is from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
But he's an animal.
And this thing, amazing drum solo by C.J. Thompson, 2023.
Oh my God! Put it on! Put it on! Put it on!
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Put it on! Put it on! Yeah.
We could be.
Actually, if you send it to me, the link, we can hear it through the system.
So okay, hold on.
Send me the link.
Okay, do this. I go back like this.
Well, actually, I cannot really open.
I can text it to you.
Yeah, text it to me, but
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
one is a modern electronics. I love this. So I go back to here and copy this. Oh, this is fun. I love doing this stuff. Okay, and then I go here, share, and then I'm going to text it to you right now. You know, I do this little trick, this hacking trick with the embed code. I shouldn't admit it to. I shouldn't reveal it to everybody in the world.
Well, but when don't.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll show it to you in private. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But here, hold on a second. Go like this. Copy. And I go over here. Sorry, it's taking a second here. You know, since I've had your name in here since the 2001, 2002, but I have you written down as Haim TLTV.
Haim TLTV.
But it's been like that since I first met you. It's like, oh, who's this guy? So, okay, come on, paste. Uh-oh. Here comes loving this. Love and playing with technology. Technology helps you be creative. If you stay on top of it, it just keeps you, ignited. Okay, here comes. And voila, you should have that link now. Amazing drum solo by C.J. Thompson.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, cool. I love this.
Okay. I hope it's not going to disconnect us. I'm going to press play, okay?
I'll take it personally if you do disconnect us.
Okay, but... Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so let's... Oh, my God, this is an enemy. Look how powerful he is. Oh, my God.
But cool, I love that you introduced me to this guy.
Look how powerful he is. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm only watching. I'm not listening to it because I don't want to disturb the audio on this. Yeah. But just watching the guy.
Yeah, they can hear it now. It's connected to the board.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's why I'm letting it run for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Jody have to teach me how to do that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh my God, this was awesome. Thank you. Uh, so yeah, so what happened is that we experience the misery of the old age of those incredible people that we grew up on, because they're because now we focus on how old they are and how terrible they look and how much less they're capable to handle the equipment, the instrument.
Yeah.
But if they would have to turn to be alternative, you wouldn't notice their age. They will come from such weird angles, and they will introduce to you their power through a new channel, through a new understanding. You know what I mean? Um, so suddenly you realize you don't need that much effort in order to bring out the best of the instrument. And that can be with writing. With writing, lately I just hang on to a first expression that comes to my mouth. Now it's very cliche if you, and probably it is, but if you don't mind, then you're going through it and then you're writing a poem. As to before, it would cause you to stop. Because if you were to feel that it's a little cliche, you would abandon it. You said, I don't want to have anything to do with it. But now it's not a big deal. So what? And then you're free to roam. You're free to research and investigate. And because you're good at what you do, if it's writing poetry or painting paintings or or playing a musical instrument, you have your ability, and now you're in a transition that involves introducing yourself to a new form, a new way, a new configuration uh, that needs to lead you to perform. So there's a sense of security, and even the forces surrounding you, they know enough, they know better than to belittle you. You know, they know better not to belittle you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you got what it takes. You see, with facts you cannot argue. You cannot go to someone's exhibitions over and over again, and he or she doing incredible, and say they're losers. They don't know what they're doing. You cannot arrive to this conclusion unless you're demented or crazy. But the reality tells you the story, and it humbles you, and then you accept it with love, with ease, and at ease, and
Yeah.
then you realize, my God, I'm benefiting from it.
Yeah.
Suddenly he actually doesn't mind to reveal his greatness to a person like me, and immediately you realize I can actually imitate that greatness, and he's allowing me to do that. He doesn't care that I might be somewhat bright and take advantage of it and do something that will even blow his mind. He's happy about it. What a happy occasion all around,
As it should be.
as it should be.
It's empower the it's like the force be with everybody. Um, the force be with everybody, and everybody should be benefiting from it. I don't really like when I really going back to something you said before about you, and we have it in common, looking at ourselves and examining the things we don't like. I think you spend a lot of unnecessary time on it, but you will know how much time you need to spend on yourself. But I admire that you will not only do it, but you also talk about it openly, and the things that you're not happy about yourself with. But I share in that with looking at like everything that I'm doing and seeing, where am I really not measuring up to where I want to measure up, and then trying to find that standard. And then James Allen, before, when we were back there, was I was going to mention about James Allen said to reach for that thing that is just beyond our grasp, or what you have in force. So you too are always kind of striving for something next, and but looking at all those things you don't like and trying to work with that a lot. That's that's well, it's an admirable quality. The um uh the thing that I would do, um uh it's too bad. I kind of wish I'd enjoy this more if I was in the studio with you. I'm sorry we're over on the phone, but
Yeah.
these conversations are always great. They kind of inspire a lot of stuff. But But your artistic endless search for bettering yourself and breaking new ground, and you being that open channel, as opposed to, I asked you before if you thought where you were now was actually getting to the point, the focus of your art and reaching some height. But no, you just stay open and keep going. And then the things with incorporating all of the arts. It's like the way a samurai warrior isn't just about how to fight; it's also how to be cultured and how to understand
Oh
other
yeah.
elements. So for you, you're kind of kind of like a samurai warrior for art. While you're doing your own art, you're also studying the arts of others, like drummers. I love that you know all these drummers.
Oh
By
yeah.
the way, I met Tito Fuentes. We did Mambo Kings in my studio with Armando Sante and Antonio Banderas. And then anyway, so Tito Puentes was there. That was cool. And his whole thing, I see, there's too many conversations with you. It's great talking to you. You inspire 1,000 different conversations. The thing about the drummers, I love that. And I thank you for introducing me to these new guys. I didn't know Marvin Smitty, Smitty Smith, uh, but I did know about C.J. Thompson. But
Yeah.
your art. I mean, when have I ever heard you playing drums?
I don't remember. But I wanted to say one sentence before I forget it, because you're
Yeah.
talking about the unknown. You cannot seek the unknown if you already know something about it. You understand what I'm saying? You have to seek the unknown and make sure that you know nothing about it in order to justify a search like this. Do you follow the point I'm trying to make? Because
Well,
if you want to seek the unknown, you cannot assume that you know anything about it. The
well, if you
the
seek the unknown, it means you know enough about something that you know something's there. It's not completely unknown.
No, it can
So
be also. I'm talking more about a numb feeling that keeps on nudging you,
yeah,
and you take and you act upon that. And if you really, almost like, you weren't singing it all ever, and you were humming, and now you but when you started humming, you didn't know how to turn it off, and until you realize that to turn it off, that means you stop humming. There's no button or anything. You just stop humming. Then when you stop humming, the echo of it stays there for a while, and you never know when it's going to go away altogether. You follow what I'm saying?
yeah,
So here you have to get that ability in sync with your needs. So when you want it off, it will be off. Then you don't need to kind of roll with the punches here until it gives you the final sign that it's gone. This is it. So when I seek the unknown, I I don't go in with any knowledge. If I feel like I know anything about it that I was hoping to find, and I'm finding out that I already have it, so I don't need to look for it. Good, good for me. I don't go there. I want to find myself in the process of seeking the unknown while I'm completely drained from or naked of any knowledge of it. Because even if it was just a gesture of your immediate vicinity that gives you by way of energies circling your body, and suddenly you realize not only that you feel certain things, but you've been directed and led with these gestures of psychological or emotional um, reservations, indications. But the thing is, no matter how much we talk, you and I, we both need to have that extreme ability, technical ability, not only to achieve, but to maintain and to continue to achieve, to ensure consistency.
the energy. It
Yeah.
keeps the energy of it. But wait, before you get too far away from it, the seeking and your point about if you're seeking something for the unknown, then you're not really seeking the unknown because you already kind of know something enough about it. But you're not seeking the unknown. But isn't here? This is a big one. If I'm not stretching it too far, but isn't seeking something, if you're really seeking something and seeking something and seeking something, you wind up creating it and that's the essence of creation, is something that you are seeking for, that you keep looking for, whether it be in science and looking for the source of DNA, or an archaeologist looking for bones underneath dirt. Isn't it like the more you're seeking something, or just in your own life, you're seeking something for a goal, something, then aren't you winding up creating it? So if you are seeking the unknown, how are you going to be seeking the unknown unless you create something?
Yeah, but you're missing something very important out. You're leaving it out, and it's these searches are very short. I mean, it's only once. You don't go back to it. This is a thing that's happening. This is finding
Speak for
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go back to it again and again
No,
and again.
no.
And that's
So
probably my mistake.
try what I say. Try. That's exactly the point of all points that I'm trying to make. No, this is called dwelling. It doesn't call smart. I need more time. No, you don't need. So it's a touch and go. It comes, it's there, and suddenly you have to make a decision, and it's got to be an instant decision. Do I go there or do I not? Do I accept it or do I abandon it? Do I think it's worth it or do I not? But this is what I'm talking about. It's there, it's snip snap, and it will go away, and you're not going back to for a second visit, because so many of these instances will make themselves available to you, and it's all up to you whether you notice them, and yes, if you do notice them, whether you're going to do something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much
No,
the.
no, wait. No, no. If you notice it, you're going to go back to it. Is there ever, or is it a personality type that might notice it and say, "Oh, I'll just leave it. I won't go back to it," because you don't care? I think if you care, you always have to go back to something until you get it where you want it.
Listen, let's just say let's start semi concluding now. Work on being able to uh, um, keep a straight face through whatever it is that you're engaged in. Anything that you can separate or compartmentalize, you have to be able to keep a straight face. Work on that. Work on that quality. Forget about now subjects. These are work about
Yeah.
being able. Something's taking place and it's intense and it's important, and you always want to be efficient and this and that and make things work for you, and that you don't have to, all these things. Be kind to yourself in the process of giving yourself completely to the process. Okay, but you got to learn how to be able to keep a straight face in order to complete the cycle. Hopefully, every time you engage or decide to engage, you might
I
as well
told you that.
succeed. Might as well succeed. Prevail.
I told you that's a Groucho Marx joke where he just said, if you could pull that stuff off and keep a straight face, you got it made. But I can't remember the whole joke exactly. But the Groucho Marx said that, about everything you're creating, everything you're saying, whatever you're doing, if you can do it with a straight face and get away with it, you're ahead of the game.
So what? How do I mean that? So that means how are we going to use it? How is it going to benefit us? Something made itself available and clearly available to you, and so now you're stronger in the process of deciding to engage and indeed initiating an engagement, because you have this automatic implementation of a kind of of a straight face that you put on, that can lead you through at least the very crucial early moments of that inception. Okay, so you're already in, and with this kind of expression, with this kind of something that you worked on, it keeps you in there. You even if you're out, when you come back, you come back with coherence. There won't be any stage, where am I, what happened. You will know where you are. You wouldn't know what happened necessarily, but you know where you are, and you know that you're where you're supposed to be, because you will understand that before you went out, you were somewhere else, and now this is where you need to be. Because of what happened, you initiated something, Mother Nature triggered something to knock you out, and then you come back and you remember what was the moment before, and the moment of after is just a continuation of something new that's going to happen. Now, it sounds complicated, but it's not. Learn how to keep a straight face. First of all, that's it. If we can learn only that from this session, you're a king.
Yeah, if you can keep a straight face, you got it made.
Yeah, you got it made. Yeah, because it's a one size fits all.
Yeah.
You don't have to paint a certain color or dress in a certain fashion way. It's just will be the same. It's because it's governed by the strength of the straight face that you can keep.
Well, take away that from this conversation. I'm really looking forward to your exploration and growth and revelations.
Yes. Please help me with this. I need all the help I can use. Even though everything is good, I just feel your energy is important to me in that process. Please.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm flattered, but no, you're a legend way before I come around. But yeah, you are one of the living legends out here. I've called you that before.
Yes.
I think I said that on that one show or when I wrote something. But I'm looking forward to being there. I'll probably want to. You know me. I'll probably want to ask you if I can live stream a conversation with you.
Yeah, whatever. I'm in your hands. I will definitely welcome any artistic gestures on your behalf. So it will be a great field for you to I wouldn't want to say operate, just be who you are and do what you do so wonderfully do naturally all the time. So congratulations for that, because you're definitely consistent. I can tell you that much. They can say anything and everything about you, but not that you're not consistent. It means pleasantly predictable. I wish that upon of all of us, to be pleasantly predictable.
Yeah,
and that and the level of the technical capability is so tight that you're like, nobody wants to mess with you creatively. They want to be your friends. They want to be close to you, because he's saying, this friggin' person, who is he? What is he? Okay. Oh boy, so that's it. I learned that serving good wine in your openings is always a plus. Always a plus. Only 7% more expensive. That's it.
Yeah.
That's an okay, a bearable upgrade.
So I love that. I love that you invite me, allow me to be on your show. I love that. You introduced me to. I'm gonna check out Marvin Smitty Smith a little bit more.
Yes, and I'll send you more names.
Yeah,
because
cool.
duets like this, one old, one new. Yes. Yeah. But let me just say, we're almost concluding here. Greg Sullivan is here with us, and feel very fortunate that you're here with us. And we're going to be here tomorrow as much as we were here yesterday, and as much as we hear this afternoon of Thursday, August 15th, 2024, here with the Hello Show. And my name is Haim Mizrahi. And of course, don't miss out the opening that's going to take place here on Saturday, the 17th, 4 to 7, with Fanny Ulin and Victor Kerpel. And as we continue with the tradition of the group art shows here at the corridors of LTV. Thank you so much, Greg. God bless.
Thanks for having me.
And don't be a stranger.
Okay, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the, if not before, seeing you at your opening.
Yeah.
All right. Bye for now.
I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.